Hi friends, welcome to my channel Chic and Savvy, where we talk about all things relating to planning and budgeting. My name is Carissa and today we will be budgeting my paycheck for week 3 of July. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and open up our finance planner. Okay, so first let's go ahead and review our goals for the month. So for this month, we want to have $1,000 in emergency fund, put extra money towards debt and towards our house sinking fund. So we're going to accomplish that by having $1,000 in our emergency fund. And we're going to do this by using our monthly savings challenges, our $1 savings challenges, and any extra money in our wallet. Goal 2 is putting extra money towards debt. We want to create a debt plan. So we actually kind of finalized this today, and I'll kind of go over that a little bit because it's going to affect my budget. We want to pay off our travel credit card and our Discover card. And goal 3 is to put any extra money towards the house sinking fund by selling furniture and prioritizing this after our emergency fund. So we have our calendar here and our budget overview sheet. So we use this calendar to keep track of our bills, our pay dates, and how we are going to pay each bill and using which paycheck. So we are moving into paycheck 3, which is right here in pink for the 18th. And that is what we were going to be budgeting today. So first, let's go ahead and get our sheets. We are budgeting for the third paycheck, which is on the 18th. And this is my husband's paycheck. And we are going to budget for $1,250. So let's go ahead and chat a little bit about our budget. Me and my husband are trying to buy a house at the end of the year. And along with that, if you have ever purchased a home, you have to have a good credit score and you have to have money if you are doing a down payment. And for the program that we are doing, our credit score has to be at a certain number and we have to have a certain amount for the down payment. This is our first home purchase, but luckily we have people in our life who know a lot about this stuff and are helping us along the way. We've been doing a lot of thinking, and I think I talked about this a little bit last week. We were going to buy a cheaper home that was going to be further away. But after thinking about it long term, we decided that we want to try our best to get the cheapest house that we can that's closer. So that way it's closer to our jobs, closer to family. So we have the resources available to us when we want to start a family, which is very soon, hopefully. So we just think that it'd be better to be closer. And so with being closer, the house is more expensive, which means we need a larger down payment, and we still have to have our credit score above a certain number. So after talking to we are going to try to build a new home. So after talking to the builder, we kind of laid out what our finances looked like, and they gave us some advice. And there's just certain things that we have to do, basically pay off a large amount of debt to get our credit scores to where they need to be. And so not only do we have to pay off a large amount of debt, we also have to save for the down payment. We do have an account already that has a majority of the down payment. We just have to save for another portion of money, so around $5,000 to put towards the down payment. But we also have to pay around $5,500 worth of debt. And of course, we want to try to do all of these things by December, because that's when we want to buy our house. So that leaves us, we're already halfway through July, so that doesn't really count. That leaves us with August, September, October, November, and December. So we have 5 months to pay off $5,000 worth of debt and to save $5,000 worth for our down payment. That is quite a lot of money. And the reason we are trying to do it December, that's not anybody else's timeline. That's just what me and my husband want to do. So that It sounds crazy, but that is what we are pushing ourselves to do because we want to purchase a home, because we are currently living with my parents and we just feel like it's the right time. Not the right time, that's the timing that we want to do it in. And also the houses that we're looking at, they are getting purchased rather quickly and they are running out of inventory for the area that we want. They might run out of houses by the beginning of next year for the house that we specifically want. Could we stretch this out further? Yes. Could we find a different house? Yes. But we are pushing ourselves to see if we can make this work. And if we can't, we know that we tried our best and we did everything that we could. Basically $10,000 in 5 months. And luckily for us, we are living with my parents and we can save more money than we would if we were paying rent to somebody else. But we are paying my parents some money every month, but we are able to save a little bit of money that we wouldn't have been able to do at all if we lived somewhere else. So we took a look at all of our subscriptions, all of our bills, to see if there was anything that we could cut out. And me and my husband decided to cut one subscription each. And we were going to commit to cutting that so that way it could save us a little bit of extra money. Because a majority of our bills are subscriptions and paying my parents a certain amount of money every month. So for me, I decided to cut my Planner Envy subscription, which really stinks because I use Planner Envy is a subscription box that I get, which has my weekly stickers, stationery, and stuff like that I use for my videos. But I'm just going to create a different solution for that because it was $26.50 a month. So I decided to cut that out and I would find an alternate way to film my videos and create content without having to pay for that. My husband decided that he was going to cut his gym membership because he pays for the most expensive one and he doesn't need to do that. We discussed him just paying for the basic, but he decided that he's just going to exercise at home because we have weights and we have a treadmill, and he would rather just cut it so that way we have more money. So that is one of our other bigger subscriptions because it's $33 a month. So we are cutting this one and this one, so that's like $50 right there, almost 60. I already paid the gym membership this month, so he's gonna have one more month to use it, but I was able to cancel my Planner Envy subscription before it pulled out in the next few days, so that one we don't have to pay for this month. That one is right here, and that was one that was going to be paid for with this paycheck, so we're just gonna cross it out and we're not gonna pay for that. With our goals that we laid out, our goal was to have $1,000 in emergency fund and then focus on the house sinking fund and debt. What we are going to do, because when you are trying to build up your credit score, it takes a while for it to reflect. So just because you pay down a credit card or something, it doesn't affect your credit score right away. It could take 30 to 45 days to go on your credit score. It's more urgent to get our credit scores up because it takes longer to reflect that than trying to save for the house, because we can do that in the final stages of when we want to buy the house. We are going to put a majority of our savings towards trying to pay off debt. And we already figured out a debt plan on what debt we need to pay off and in what order, so that way it can boost our credit scores the highest by doing those things. So that is what we are going to do, and you will see that reflected when I am doing my budget for our savings. Let's go ahead and jump in to planning our paycheck. You don't know how I use my calendar. This is a bill calendar. I write out all of my bills and all of my paychecks, and then I highlight my paychecks, and then I determined when I'm going to pay my bills using what paycheck. So for example, the first paycheck of this month was in purple. Any bill that you see in purple is what I used that paycheck to pay those bills. So for instance, this paycheck is in pink. So we're gonna check that off here. And anything in pink is what we are gonna use this paycheck for. So we did have our Planner Envy subscription, but we canceled that, so we're no longer paying for it. So the only bill that we have is this debt right here. So we actually aren't even gonna write anything in fixed expenses. Now, moving on to our paycheck planner sheet. I make this sheet myself, but there are a million sheets that you could use, or you can even use paper and pencil. That's how I really started, and create this budget for yourself. So you would start out by writing out your income. So my husband's income for this week is $12.50, and me and my husband get paid bi-weekly, but we're on opposite schedules. So we get one paycheck every single week that we can budget for. Now, fixed expenses are any expenses that you have that are a fixed amount that come out every single month. That is your rent, your mortgage, your electric bill, your water bill, your car payment, your subscriptions, your phone bill, anything like that would be a fixed expense. Now, I break out my debt separately just because I like to track it better, but debt would be a fixed expense because you pay that every single month. So currently, I don't have any bills that are a fixed expense, so we are just gonna leave this at 0. Now, let's go to debt, because that is also a fixed expense. I have this bill right here. So, ACCC, that is a debt that we have, and that is $521 that we are going to be paying. I actually forgot. Let me white this out. I do have one fixed expense. It is a fee that I pay for this. So we're going to put ACC fee, and that fee is $35. So we're actually going to write that here. So we do have one thing. And so we have that debt fee, and then we have that debt. So that is everything that we need from our bill calendar. So I'm actually gonna get rid of this. We'll bring it back when we do our savings. So now we can move on to variable expenses. Variable expenses are any expense that you have that can vary throughout the month, but is still needed in your budget. So this is any spending, grocery, gas, any fund money, any money that you allocate towards lunches or anything like that would go in variable expenses. So for us, because we live with my parents, it looks a little bit differently than it would for other people. So for us, we do pay my parents $250 a week. We give both of our moms money, and that's $50. We have my husband spending, and he gets $30 a week. We have his extra money. He gets extra money once a month of $45. My spending also gets $30. And then we have gas, which gets $50. Eating out gets $30. Fun money gets $30. Donations gets $5. And then my husband's lunch money gets $30. So let's go ahead and add this up. So we have $250, $50, $30, $45, $30, $50, $30, $30, $5, and $30. So that is $550 for variable expenses. So now all of our categories are filled in, and all of our bills are now being allocated and paid. So now we can determine how much money we're able to save. So we're gonna take our income, which is $12.50. We're gonna subtract our fixed expenses, which is $35. Our variable expenses, and our debt. So that leaves us with $144 to put towards savings. Now, the third paycheck of the month is always the one where I have the most money going towards bills. And that's because I have this big expense. This is one of my bigger expenses that comes out. So I always know that going into the third paycheck of the month is usually the one where I can't save as much. But that's okay. We still have a good amount of money to put towards savings. So that's what we're going to use. Now we can write out what we want to allocate this money to. So I kind of already determined what I want to put the money towards. So I'm going to write them here. So we have checking cushion. This is an account that I have that I put extra money in just so that way we have a little bit of something if we need to use it for other things. We are going to budget. Oh, actually, we're going to do that later. So now we're going to have 1 month ahead. And this goes towards our emergency fund. We have car maintenance, our savings challenge, Saveopoly, our monthly challenge. We have our subscription sinking funds, gifts sinking funds, travel, Christmas, and my husband's haircuts. So those are all of the categories that we are going to split this money into. So first, let's go ahead and do our Saveopoly. And we are going to roll and see what we get. Perfect. So let's go ahead and roll. So last week we were at the railroad at 25 and we got 8. So we are gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 19. Let's go ahead and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 19. So we are gonna save $19. And I get this from the LittleBirdieCanada. I really love this challenge. You could find it on her Etsy shop. It is a year-long challenge, but I think that's what makes it fun because it's interactive and you're rolling to see what you're gonna save. We have $19 for Saveopoly. So now we can subtract that from our total. And now we have $125. So now we can budget the rest. So let's see here. So for our savings challenge, this is our $10 challenge. I like to put $10 in that. And then our monthly challenge, let's go ahead and do 2 icons, and 1 icon is $5. So this will be 10. And then car maintenance will also do 10. Checking cushion will do 5. Haircuts will do 10. Let's do 10 in subscriptions. And we'll do 5 in gifts, 5 in travel, and 5 in Christmas. Okay, so we have $55 left. I know that I need to keep some extra money in my account for a bill that's coming out, and I spent a little bit out of that account, so I need to kind of reimburse that back. So we're gonna go ahead and do 30 in 1 month ahead. And we have $25 left over. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that in my account to reimburse myself. So this would come out to 0 because I'm going to use that money for something else. So let's go ahead and add this up. We have 5, 30, 10, 10, 19, 10, 10, 5. I feel like I added another 5. I think I did. Let's redo. 5 plus 30 plus 10 plus 10 plus 19 plus 10 plus 10 plus 15 plus 10. Yep. Okay, so we have 119 that we are saving. So that might seem not like a little bit, but every dollar counts, guys. Like, I'm a very big advocate for whatever you can save, save it. Even if you feel like it's not going to do anything, save it. Because you'd be spending it on something else anyways, so you might as well put it into a savings. And like in my instance, put it into an envelope, leave it there, because it will build up over time. So now let's go ahead and take our cash envelope breakdown sheet. So we use this sheet to figure out what our denominations are that we need to get out of the bank. So we're gonna list our wallet categories. So that is my spending, fun times, eating out, and donations. And now I gave myself $30 for spending, but I like to keep 20 on my debit card and 10 in cash. And then we budgeted 30 for fun, 30 for eating, and 5 for donations. So those are all of the categories for my wallet. And now we can list our sinking funds and savings challenges. So checking cushion, that just stays in my account, so we're going to skip that. So we have 1 month ahead, and that was $30. We have savings challenge is 10. Saveopoly was 19. Our monthly challenge was 10. Subscriptions was 10. Gifts was 5. Travel 5. Christmas 5. And then haircuts was 10. So this came out to 119. We're going to subtract the checking cushion because we aren't taking that money out of the bank. And now we can add in the money that was going to go into our wallet. So that is 10, 30, 30, and 5. So our total should be 189 that we are taking out of the bank. Perfect. Now we can determine what denominations of bills we need to stuff these envelopes. So for spending is $10, we're going to do a $10 bill. Fun times is 30, so we're going to do a 20 and a 10. Eating out is 30 as well, so 20 and a 10. Donations is 5, so we'll do a $5 bill. 1 month ahead is 30, so we'll do a 20 and a 10. Our savings challenge is $10, so we'll do a $10 bill. Saveopoly is 19, so we'll do a 10 of 5 and 4 ones. Our monthly challenge is 10, but we do that in increments of 5, so we'll do 2 5s. Our subscriptions is 10, so we'll do a $10 bill. Gifts, travel, and Christmas are all 5, so we'll do $5 bills for all 3. And then haircuts is a 10, so we'll do a $10 bill. Perfect, so now we can write out what that is for each denomination. So for $1, we need 4. For 5s, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 10s, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 20s, we need 1, 2, 3. And no 50s or hundreds this time. So now how many bills we need? We need 11, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then the value, so 4 times 1 is 4, 7 times 5 is 35, 8 times 10 is 80, 20 times 3 is 60. And so let's add that up. We have 4, 35, 80, 60, and so that, oh, we're missing a 10. Let's look at this. Yep, that's what it was. This is wrong. It's always something, guys. I wish it came out every single time, but I'm not that lucky. All right, so 179 is the grand total. So that is what we are gonna take out of the bank. So now let's get our sticky note. Let's do it on this one. And we are gonna write out that we need $1, 5s, 10s, and 20s. We need 4 1s, 7 5s, 8 10s, and 3 20s. And that is 4, 35, 80, 60, and that is 179. Perfect. So that is what we are going to be getting from the bank. And I usually just give this, I have a girl that I've been going to, and she knows what I'm doing. So I usually just give her this slip and she just puts it all in and gets me the money. So it's super easy. But that is all of our money budgeted for the week. I'm glad I was able to give you guys an update on what's going on. You'll see that more reflected in probably the August budget. That's when we're kind of gonna start really trying to save and allocate those funds and pay off debt. So we'll go into that way more at the beginning of August when I show you guys everything that we're gonna be doing. But I want to thank you all for being by my side throughout this journey, and I can't wait to see where life takes us. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye, friends.